Hey guys, I am back with another video for you today. Today's video is going to be my 2015 beauty favorites. I typically do this every year. I will skip the month of December because I do monthly favorites every month, but I will skip the month of December and just jump right into a yearly favorite. So I compile everything that I have been loving in the year of 2015 and I make one long video for you. However, I don't want this video to be super lengthy because I know in the past my videos just drag on because I tend to pick everything that I used in the year of 2015. But I sat long and hard and I decided to just pick specific items that I really used over and over again. So a lot of these items you will see are a little repetitive because I did mention a ton of them in my favorites videos, which is why they made it to my yearly favorites. So I'm excited because they are all laid out in front of me. This video will not be as long as my other videos in the past because like I said, I did narrow it down to just very specific items that I gravitated towards over and over again. I do quickly want to mention, I don't know how this video is going to come out because I am filming on a new camera. I got a new camera for Christmas from my boyfriend and I absolutely love it, but it's the first time I am using it to film. I did use the Canon SL1, the EOS SL1. It was a smaller camera and it did me extremely well. I love that camera. I will still continue to use that camera, but I just wanted to test this one out for filming just to see how well it focuses in and out of a certain items that I'll be holding up. I know with my other camera I did have a hard time where if I held a product up it would not adjust back on me as quickly as I would like it to, but this one is supposed to adjust really quickly on me. So I apologize if it doesn't adjust back to me quickly if I hold something up and it goes out of focus. I apologize ahead of time, but we are just going to be testing this out today. So I am going to jump into this video and let's get started. All right, so first I want to let's just talk about skincare real quick. I am not a huge person when it comes to skincare. Like I don't do toners, I don't do I don't use all of the Glam Glow products, I don't put specific, products on areas of my face where I need them. I should start doing that, but I don't. It's just that those products are so super pricey and I haven't really found one that I really want to invest my money in. But I am really thinking about the Glam Glow products because I have heard such great things about those, so I'll probably end up investing in those probably later on this year. But I am obsessed with peel off masks. And this last year I became obsessed with this specific one right here. It's the Freeman Cucumber Peel Off Mask. This mask right here feels so hydrating and cooling on the skin. I like to goop it on all over my face, everywhere but my eyes and my mouth, of course. And I will just peel it off 10 to 15 minutes later, and I love the way that my skin feels after using this. This right here is an amazing product. I had two other ones of these ones. The other ones weren't specifically peel off masks. They were just a mask that you put on and then you wash off 10 to 15 minutes later, but I love the peel off ones. This one in particular right here is my favorite one because I just love the way that it makes my skin look and feel. Again, this is the Freeman Cucumber Peel Off Mask and I absolutely love it. All right, next is a cleanser that you have heard me mention here on my channel. It is the Simple Foaming Cleanser. I absolutely love this cleanser. If you guys are looking for a really good cleanser, this cleanser right here is amazing. I know the year before I was really into Neutrogena cleansers. However, I switched to using the Simple just because I heard such great things about it. And this one right here in particular is my favorite Simple product to use on my face at the end of the night or in the morning when I go to wash my face. My face just feels so good. At the end of the night after wearing a face full of makeup, I will go ahead and use this and it just foams up really nicely on the skin, and when you wash it off, your face just feels so super soft and clean. So I really have been loving this one. And then the next one I got is a little bit more pricey. It's from Murad, and this is the Murad Exfoliating Cleanser. This one right here I ended up getting with some of my Sephora VIP points in a little kit. It was all Murad products and they were all travel size. And this happened to be one of the specific products that was in the box. And when I used it, I fell in love with it. This stuff was amazing. I loved the way that it made my skin look and feel after using it. Like, I would use it in the morning and my skin would feel so refreshed and cleansed, but then at night after the end of the day and taking off my makeup, my face would just feel amazing. But after about a week or two of using it, I noticed a huge difference in my complexion, the way my skin looked, my skin tone was evened out. My skin looked like really radiant. I loved it. I was also able to just like walk out of the house without wearing any makeup at all. I know I said that before when I talked about this product, but my skin looked and felt so amazing that I just felt comfortable leaving the house with no makeup. I would do just my brows, throw on some lip gloss, and be good to go. And I had never felt so comfortable with a specific product like I do this one right here. This one is amazing. So it does say polishes away dullness and excess cellular debris, priming skin for treatment products, and then it reveals a smoother texture and more even toned complexion without irritation. So if you guys are really, really wanting to invest in a really good cleanser, I highly recommend this one right here. It's amazing. Got mine from Sephora. Next is a moisturizer that you guys have heard me talk about all the time here on my channel. It's the Pond's Rejuvenous Anti-Wrinkle Cream. This stuff right here is amazing. You guys know that I always bought like the travel size ones, but then this last year I went ahead and invested in the bigger tub of this, and I'm really, really glad I did because it's lasted me so long. There has not been like an anti-wrinkle cream, like a moisturizing cream that I have been able to find that works as well as this one does. I just really think that this one right here is amazing. I do want to invest in like a higher end one. Like most products, I always want to invest in something that's higher end, but I just find that this one works really, really well. But if you have any suggestions for something that is, you know, really, really good, that's higher end, leave them in the comments down below because I'd really like to try something different. But this one right here, I just love the fact that it's not so thick, it's not so sticky on the face. I like a moisturizer that really sinks into my skin, and this one does that for me. So again, it's the Pond's Rejuvenous Anti-Wrinkle Cream. All right, next let's go into face products. We will go into face products. Two foundations I've been loving this last year. I have been really loving the L'Oreal 24-Hour Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. You guys have seen me mention this here on my channel and probably a few of my favorites videos, and I also did a review on this specific foundation right here. So if you guys want to check it out, I'll link it down below. This foundation has to be my all-time favorite drugstore foundation. I do still really love the Maybelline 3-in-1. I believe it's the Maybelline 3-in-1 foundation. I really still love that one, but this one I've just been buying over and over and over again. Mine is in the color 108, and I really just love the way that this makes my skin look. It makes it look so super matte. Like if I'm going for that really full coverage kind of matte look, this foundation is really good. I know it's like it's not really a full coverage when you first apply an application, but you can build it to be more of a full coverage. So that's what I really love about it. So if I don't really want to go full coverage, I just put like one layer of this all over my skin. But if I really want a full coverage, like complete look, I will just go in with just a little bit more and I get that full look that I'm looking for. And it also leaves me really matte throughout the day. For most of the day, it does leave me pretty matte. I am really oily, so that's why I really love this foundation right here. It's amazing. So if you guys are looking for a really good drugstore foundation, I highly recommend this one right here. There has been so many drugstore foundations that have come out within the last couple months that I definitely really want to pick up and try. So I'm going to do that for you. I'm going to pick up a few foundations and maybe do a couple of reviews on my channel. But for the year of 2015, this was a great foundation for me. And I will still continue to use that unless I find something else that's better than that. All right, next is a higher end foundation. This is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. The bottle is absolutely amazing. It's beautiful. I love it. And I love the application of this foundation right here. It comes with a pump. Again, the packaging is so cute. I have heard mixed reviews on this foundation. Like I know one of my best friends, she did not like this foundation at all because it just left her really oily. But I mean, I go back and forth with it. It's what I'm wearing right now and I love this foundation, but I am a little dry right now. So I really do like the way this foundation looks on me, like right now. I think I like it so much because I am so dry during the colder months, right now it's extremely cold outside, and during the colder months I do tend to get a little dry, so I really like the way that this foundation looks on my skin. However, I know that when I used it over the summer, it did leave my skin looking a little oily, so I don't really recommend this for somebody who's super oily, but for right now I do really love this foundation. So I did and will continue to use this foundation probably during like the winter months or something like that. When my skin tends to get a little dry, I really like the way this looks on me. All right, next are some setting powders. I don't typically buy like really expensive products when it comes to setting my foundation or my concealer. I did use the Ben Nye banana powder to set underneath my eyes for such a long time, but recently I have loved the Laura Mercier powder. This is like my first high-end powder that I've ever purchased to set underneath my eyes or just my face in general, and I have been loving this right here. I will also use this to do a little baking underneath like my contour, so I really do love this. And something that I absolutely loved setting my entire face with after I apply foundation is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte 16 Hour powder. This stuff right here is just amazing. If you don't want to splurge on anything, just get a powder from the drugstore like this, and after you apply your foundation, just set it with something like this. This works just as well. So really have been loving those two right there. For primers, the two primers that I have absolutely loved this last year were these two right here. You can see I used a ton of this already, and then I used it with the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. You don't have to use these together, you can use one or the other, but I found that my makeup lasted a little bit longer when I used them both together. So I would just spray my face with this and then just put a little bit of this on my fingers and kind of place it in the areas where I do get oily, which is on my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, a little bit on my cheeks, and right on my chin. So these two together have been amazing for me. I absolutely love both of these together. All right, for highlighters. Two highlighters that really stood out to me this last year was, of course, the Becca Champagne Pop, the one that she created with Jaclyn Hill. This highlighter right here was just my everything this last year. It's what I'm wearing right now, actually. I really love this highlighter. It's actually the first highlighter that I've ever really purchased that I liked on me and that actually shows up on my skin. So again, that's the Becca Champagne Pop highlighter that she created with Jaclyn Hill. And then the next one is Hourglass. Now this one right here was something that I was a little hesitant on at first, but I had heard so many great things about it, and I really do love this. It's extremely subtle, like it's not even anything like at all. Like when you put it on the skin, you won't even see it, but when you walk outside, it just gives your skin like this very beautiful like glow from within. It's absolutely gorgeous. See right there, it's very subtle. I think this is an amazing highlighter to wear if you're like getting married on your wedding day. It's a beautiful highlighter. It really makes you look like you're just glowing from within. I'll show you in comparison to the Becca one. So you can see like Becca's Champagne Pop is really intense, but then you go to the Hourglass one and it's just very subtle. Sorry, I didn't mean to flip you off. Not doing that intentional, but you can see how subtle it is. It's very beautiful. So those have been the two highlighters that have really stood out to me this last year. As far as bronzers go, this one right here just takes the cake. Like it's the Smashbox Bronze Perfecting. It's the Smashbox bronzer in Suntan Matte. This stuff was my best friend this last year. As you can tell, I bought this at IMATS last year and I am going again next weekend, and I cannot wait because I cannot wait to pick up more new products. I'm super excited, but this bronzer it was just such a good bronzer. I mean, you can't even see it, but it's what I have on right now, and I absolutely loved this bronzer. This bronzer was just my jam this last year. And then recently I did pick up well, I didn't pick this up, this was given to me as a gift. It's the Wet n Wild Color Icon bronzer. It's this one that looks like this, and this one is just so beautiful, guys. I actually ended up picking up the Hourglass bronzer that everybody talks about. It's the Ambient Bronzing Powder. And I picked that one up, and it's so similar to this right here. I actually need to exchange that one for a little bit of a darker color. But yeah, it's so similar to this right here. This does have a bit of a sheen to it. Like if you look at it, it does have a sheen to it. It's right here. I don't even know if you're going to be able to see that, but it does have a little bit of a sheen to it. But on the face, it does not have a sheen at all. In my opinion, I don't even see it because I typically don't like to wear bronzers that do have a sheen to them. But this one you can even see it all. There's a girl at my work who wears this all the time, and every time she wears it, it looks so gorgeous. And so I asked her what she was wearing on her skin, and she told me it was this, and she actually got this for me for Christmas. So I know I got this pretty late in the year, but it quickly became a favorite of mine. So I absolutely love this bronzing powder right here. If you guys are looking for a very nice, subtle bronzing powder that's really inexpensive, check out the Wet n Wild one. This stuff is amazing. I love this. What I will do is put a little bit of the Smashbox to kind of contour with, because this is a little bit darker, and then I will just blend it out with this. That's what I have going on right here, and it's beautiful. So those are bronzing powders that I have just been loving. As far as blushes, I know, again, I got this towards the end of the year, but it just quickly became a favorite of mine. There wasn't any blushes that really stood out to me except for this little palette right here. This is the Tarte palette that they came out with for the holidays, and it just looks like this on the inside. And you can see, like, I kind of like hit pan on some of these. I don't know if you can really see, but I have been using these blushes like a ton lately. These are just really, really beautiful. I love them. They are gorgeous. So this right here just blew every other blush that I used out of the water. And I know I used a ton of blushes this last year, but there wasn't anything that I really, really like picked up over and over again like I did this when I got it. So I had to throw this in here because I absolutely love it. All right, let's go on. Oh, one more product for the face. This is the concealer that I have been loving this last year. I did pick this up at the beginning of this last year, and I absolutely fell in love with it. I did used to wear the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. However, after I started using this, I just realized how thick and heavy the MAC Pro Long Concealer was underneath my eyes. This one is very, very lightweight underneath the eyes. It's beautiful. I love it. You can see it's really, really like, it's not thick at all. It's a beautiful concealer, and it blends out really nicely, and it does not crease on me as much as my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer did. I don't know if anybody else had that problem, but I know for me, like I said, I'm really, really oily, and that concealer tended to, is that even a word? That concealer creased on me. That's what I'm trying to say. But this one I don't get as much creasing, so I really, really love this concealer right here. And this is probably like my third tube that I've went through. All right, next is a couple of other eye products. This one right here is just something that I have loved over and over again. This is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I ended up purchasing one at Sephora, and then I ended up picking up I want to say my third tube at IMATS last year, and I got like this full-size one for like $10. And I'm excited because I'm actually running out of this, so I will be repurchasing another one at IMATS next weekend if they happen to have it there, because I absolutely love this mascara right here. This mascara is amazing, guys. I think what it is just the brush itself is so amazing. Like, I don't even know if you can see like the brush on that. It's so thick, and it just makes your lashes look really, really long, and it adds like a ton of volume to your lashes. So that is what I really love about this mascara right here. It's actually running out, so like the volume on my lashes isn't there right now, but it's there when I have like a really nice, good, brand new tube. I'm like scraping the inside of this as we speak. So all right, next is a couple of eyeliners that I actually really loved this last year. They're from L'Oreal, and one is in the color brown. I don't know why I looked for that color because it's just brown, but you can see how smooth and soft and blendable these are right here. They're really, really nice to blend. So sometimes if I don't want to wear any eyeshadow, I'll use the brown one just on top of my eye, like right above my lash line, and kind of just smudge it out and throw on some mascara. And I'll also smudge it underneath my lower lash line. And then I recently, well, not recently, but through like mid-year, I picked up the one in black. and I just love this. Like, this is what I use to line my waterline with. I will tight line with this. It's beautiful, and I use it to actually blend out shadow down on the lower lash line, and I love the way this stuff like blends. It doesn't last that long on the waterline, I will be honest with you, but I do love using it to blend out shadows with, and I do love using it just alone on the top of my eyes and just blending it out and throwing on some mascara if I'm not really feeling like wearing eyeshadow for that day. These liners are really, really good to use for blending purposes. So yeah, that's what I have on my eyes right now, and I really, really like them. So that's all I really used throughout the entire year. I don't think I've used any other eyeliner that I can think of. I probably used the one by Urban Decay, I can't remember the name of it, but I probably used that one, and I think I ran out of it. And after I ran out of that is when I picked these up, because I had seen one of my friends using one of these and I really, really fell in love with them. So I needed to get both colors. So those are some liners that I have or had been loving and will continue to love. I don't know why I made that so lengthy. All right, next are some eyeshadows. Like I said, I have a ton of eyeshadow palettes. I don't know if I said that at the beginning of this video, but I do have a ton of eyeshadow palettes, and it was really hard for me to narrow down which palettes I wanted to put in this video. But after thinking about it, I realized that these are the shadows that I really, 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 really like continued to gravitate towards. One being the ColourPop eyeshadows. Now, you guys all know I have done so many videos on ColourPop. I think I've did hauls on ColourPop. I've did swatches on ColourPop. I absolutely love ColourPop eyeshadows. These eyeshadows are amazing, guys. They're really inexpensive. They're really pigmented. They're easy to blend. They're easy to use. I just love them. I'm going to pick out a few of the colors that I absolutely loved. This one right here is called Lala, and it is just a beautiful, really kind of like a rose gold color. I'm not even sure like how to describe this color, but it is gorgeous. They're kind of spongy feeling when you fill them with your finger, but they are so beautiful. Like that's, look how pigmented, and isn't that gorgeous? It is so beautiful. And what I love about these is you can just use your finger to apply these to your lid, and then kind of just use a brush to kind of blend out, and you have yourself like a really beautiful like eye look. You don't even have to use anything else with these sometimes. This one again is another one that I love, and it's called Amaze. And this one right here is so gorgeous. Oh my God. It's that one right there. It is super, super gorgeous, but they're so like nice and soft and smooth. Again, this is almost like the same color as that Lala one, but just a little bit more of like a bronzy color. The other one is more of like a rose gold color. And then I have this one right here that it's called Boy Band. And this one is more of like, it looks like the color like of a penny or something like that. But I think this is absolutely a gorgeous color. I will swatch this one really quickly for you. That's what that looks like right there. Oh, so gorgeous. It's beautiful. I love it. Like I said, these are so easy to apply. I typically just use my finger for these. I do have a ColourPop eyeshadow on my eyes right now, and it is the color Cricket. It's this one right here. It's beautiful. I just have it on the center of my lid. That's that color that's going on the center of my lid right now. These are just beautiful, guys. Really, really love these eyeshadows. So those are the ColourPop eyeshadows, and those are just a few of my favorites that I have been loving this last year. And then next is a palette that I've talked about several times on my channel, and this is just all of my Makeup Geek eyeshadows. Some of them are fairly new. I got them within like the end of the last year, and I want to say like here on over are all the new colors that I recently purchased, and the ones over here I've had prior to purchasing those. Makeup Geek eyeshadows are one of the best eyeshadows out there right now. If you guys have a chance, pick up some Makeup Geek eyeshadows. They're absolutely amazing, guys. They are so pigmented, they're smooth, they're buttery, they're easy to blend, and all of my shadows are in here, and I love every single one of them. I will swatch one of them for you. I'll swatch this one right here. This one is so gorgeous. This one is called Grandstand, and it is just a beautiful kind of, again, it's just like a bronzy kind of rose gold color, and it's so gorgeous. Let me just swatch this for you. So that's that right there. And let me just, do you see that? Beautiful. Oh, I love these shadows. They're so, so pretty. So yeah, those are the two eyeshadows. Like I said, I have a ton of eyeshadows, but these specific eyeshadows I absolutely loved this last year. So I had to just stick with those ones right there because those ones I found myself grabbing over and over and over again. All right, let's go into lip products. For lip products, I don't really get too crazy with lip products just because I always tend to buy them, but then I never use them. I'm just really not like a lipstick kind of girl. I will throw on just a basic gloss that kind of like matches my color of my lip and just wear that and call it a day because I really like those like nude kind of colors. But this last year I really fell in love with like the ColourPop matte liquid lipsticks that they came out with. So I did pick up a ton of them this last year, but these three in particular I fell in love with. So this one right here is called Clueless. It's a gorgeous color. Let me wipe off my hand really fast so I can do some swatches for you. This one right here is called Clueless, and it's that one right there. I actually have a little bit of this on my lips right now, and I have it mixed with something else. So that is called Clueless, and I absolutely love that one. And then this one right here is called More Better. And it's just a really deep, intense kind of like cranberry color. I think it's cranberry anyway. Oh, so gorgeous, right? And then this one right here is called Teeny Tiny. This is the one that I always want to call Teeny Weeny. I don't know why. But this is more of like a brown kind of nude color that at first I wasn't like too crazy about it. It's right here. I wasn't too crazy about this color because when I put it on, it appeared really dark. But after wearing it, I actually wore this on Christmas Eve. And after wearing it, I was like, you know what? I kind of really like this color. So I do wear this if I'm wearing like really minimal makeup, or if I'm going for more of like a grunge look, I will throw that on right there. It's absolutely beautiful. It looks lighter on my hand than it does on me. It does appear a lot darker on me. So if you are my skin tone and you have like my kind of like skin color going on, just know that that's going to appear a lot darker. Like it looks really beautiful on my hand, which is why I fell in love with it when I swatched it. And I did see it on other people, and it did not look as dark on them as it did on me. So just know that it does appear a little bit more dark. Same thing goes for like this one right here, Clueless. It does appear very nude, but on the lips, like you can see, it's really pink. So just know that these colors do change a little bit on you. Especially this one right here in the middle. I'll just talk about all of them, why don't I? The one right here in the middle, it does look a little bit more cranberry, but when I put it on, it turns into like almost like a deep kind of dark maroon color. Very gorgeous. I love it because I didn't really like the swatch on my hand, but I loved it on my lips. So if you're looking for a deep, intense kind of burgundy type of like maroon color, definitely pick up, oh man, I forgot the name. Definitely pick up More Better because it's really pretty. All right, next are some more ColourPop lippies that I picked up. One is in Contempo, Grunge, and Dazed, and I'll go ahead and swatch these for you. This is called Contempo, and this is a really pretty color. It is really similar to Clueless. It's that one right there. You can see how similar those are, but this one is just very like sheer. So you put this on, and it doesn't look like that on me. It's not quite as intense as it is on my hand. It is more of a muted kind of nude color. And then this one is called Dazed, which I absolutely love this one. And this one is more of a kind of like a reddish tone with a little bit of like a raspberry undertone to it. It's really pretty. So I wore that one a ton. And then this one has to be my favorite one. This is called Grunge. And I love this color. Typically I don't like the lip products that have more of like that brown tone in them, because again, I'm already dark, so they just appear really dark on me, kind of like really washing me out a little bit. But this one right here is really gorgeous. I love the way that this one wears on me. So if you want something that's a little bit more of a brown tone but you don't want to go too dark, try Grunge from ColourPop. It's really gorgeous. You can see those are all the swatches right there. All right, next is another liquid lipstick that I picked up from Dose of Colors, and this one I just fell in love with. When I first got it though, I was a little, I don't know, I just really didn't like the way it looked on me. My best friend tried it on, she absolutely loved it, but she's a little bit more lighter than me. When I put it on me, it kind of just completely mattified my entire lips, and I looked like one color, like you couldn't even see my lips. But I will show you what it looks like when you swatch it. Really gorgeous. It's this one. So it's this one right here. Sorry, my camera just stopped on me all of a sudden. It's this color right here, and you can see it's a really, really gorgeous kind of like pinky nude color, which looks great on everybody. Amanda Ensing wears this color all the time, and that is what forced me to buy it, because I could not stand seeing her in this color, and I really, really needed it in my life. So I ordered it, tried it, didn't really fall in love with it, but what I do is I use the MAC lip liner in the color Hover. I just apply that to my lips, and I apply this right over it, and it gives me the exact color that is on my hand. So I really, really like this. I actually have this mixed in with a little bit of that Clueless. So these two is what I am wearing on my lips right now, and I really, really love those. All right, next are some brushes. I get a ton of questions on brushes. Tons of questions on what brushes should I use to apply my eyeshadow, what brushes should I use to be blending out my eyeshadow. I get so many questions, so if you are one of those people asking me what brushes you should get, I'm going to mention my favorite brushes right now. I just felt like I needed to do this because, like I said, I got a ton of questions on them, and I don't really talk about my favorite brushes, so I'm going to talk about eye brushes that are my favorite, and I'm going to tell you exactly what each brush does so that if you are shopping for people that are just starting out in makeup, then these brushes are really going to be essential for you. I would say if you are shopping for makeup, these brushes right here are the only brushes you need. 4 brushes, that's it. They're a little dirty right now. I apologize because I did just use them prior to filming this video and I didn't want to wash them, so I really, really am sorry. But these brushes right here are my favorite eye brushes. This is pretty much all you need when it comes to applying any kind of eyeshadows. If you really want to go more in depth, then I would say get these two. But if you don't really want to drag makeup underneath your eyes and there's no need for any of these, all you need is these brushes right here. You can do the same thing with these brushes that you can with these if you want to apply makeup underneath your eye, but either way, there's tons of us that have tons and tons of brushes, and really the only brushes you really need are these ones right here. I just like to try out new brushes. I like the different things that they can do for your eye shapes, so I don't know, that's why I continue to keep buying brushes, and I will continue to keep buying different brushes just because I feel like I need them. So, but these brushes right here I'm going to talk about specifically because I feel like if you are just starting out at makeup and you're shopping for people who are just starting out in makeup, or if you are just starting out in makeup, then these brushes are really, really good to have on hand. I will link like a less inexpensive brush like somewhere right here. You don't have to necessarily go out and buy these MAC brushes because there's Morphe and there's Sigma that do carry the same exact brush, and it does the same exact thing for the same exact quality, just a less expensive price. So I will list a item right here that you can, you know, shop around and buy something a lot less expensive as opposed to buying like something that's more expensive. I have just had these for a really, really long time. When I first started out in makeup, I wanted to go top of the line. I wanted to get like everything that was more expensive. So I would save every dollar that I would make and I would get myself some really nice brushes. But now that's just not the case. You know, we all want to save money, and I think that Morphe and Sigma really, really, really have great quality brushes for a less expensive price. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the MAC 217 brush. It's just this brush right here. It is a great brush, and what I use this brush for is just applying product right in the crease. If I want to deepen up a color, this is the brush I will take to kind of deepen up anything that I'm doing on the outer corner of my eye. If I want to go for something like a transition color and I don't really want that heavy of an application, this is the brush I'll go for right here. So I use this all right in the crease, and I will kind of bring it down onto my lid as well. Again, I use this mainly for transition colors, and this is the MAC 224 brush, and it's just a brush that looks like this. It's just a really large fluffy brush, and again, it's just a little bit more softer, so it lays down less product, as opposed to this one being a little bit more dense, which lays down a little bit more product for you. So I will go in with maybe a transition shade, and then if I want to deepen up that same color, I'll dip this brush in it and I'll kind of deepen it up with this one. So these two are really, really great blending brushes. Next is an eyeshadow brush. So this brush right here is really great for packing on that color onto the lid. So this is what I use. This is the MAC 242 brush. Again, you don't need this exact brush. I will link, I will list a name down below of a less expensive brush that you can purchase. You don't have to get this one, but this is a really great brush for applying eyeshadow right onto the lid. This is another brush that's a really great brush for applying eyeshadow right onto the lid. It's really, really like nice, soft, and it's not as, I mean, these brushes are really, really different, you can see. So this is the MAC 242 brush. I don't even know if the camera's gonna focus on that, but this is the MAC 242 brush, and then this one right here is the MAC 239 brush. So you can see it's just a really soft, nice brush. Both of these are great for packing on shadow onto the lid. All right, next I use a brush. This is a Sigma Large Fluff brush. This brush is really not necessary because you can use, you know, one of these brushes to do the same thing, but I just use this for right underneath my brow to apply my brow highlight or color right underneath there. That's just what I use. This is, again, the Sigma Large Fluff brush, my favorite brush to do that with. And then this one right here is the Sigma Flat Definer. This is the E15 brush. I will typically use this to fill in my brows, but you can see it's really, really thin. Or I will take some eyeshadow and I will apply it down underneath my lower lash line with some eyeliner, and then I will blend it out with a brush like this. Again, these specific brushes are not necessary. You don't need them in your life, but I'm just saying this is what I use. They're my favorite brushes that I use, and I just kind of blend out the color underneath my lower lash line, and this just does a really good job at blending. It's a really, really great brush for blending. And this is the Sigma Exact Blend E32 brush. All right, as far as brushes that I use for my face, for foundation, this is a great brush. This is the Morphe M439 brush. It's just a really soft, kind of dense, kind of kabuki looking brush. And this is what I will use to apply foundation. I typically will use a beauty blender, but with some of my foundations, like my Too Faced Born This Way foundation, this one right here, I will use a brush like this. It has become one of my favorite brushes to use, and I continue to use it because I love the application of my foundation after using this brush. And then next, what I do to set kind of everything on my face, I will use a brush like this. Again, this is a Sigma brush. This is the F20 Large Fluff brush. I will use this to go ahead and set all of my foundation with my Laura Mercier powder or my L'Oreal foundation or L'Oreal Infallible powder. I will go ahead and just dip my brush in the product and just kind of like dot it around my face and kind of blend it into my face to set my foundation. I will also use this brush for bronzer. So if I want a really blown out kind of bronzy look, as opposed to like more of a contour, like a defined look, I will just go ahead and use this brush for bronzer and kind of just like really add some color into my face with this brush right here. Next is a brush I like to use for highlighting and setting under my eyes. So I will use this to set my concealer. I'll use my Laura Mercier powder. I'll just set my concealer with this. And I also really like to use this for my highlighter. I don't know why I said it like that, but I will use this to apply my highlighter right onto my cheekbone. So this is a great brush, and this is the Sigma F35. And then if I do want like a deeper contour, I will use this brush right here. This is the Sigma Small Contour F05 brush. It's a really, really nice brush. It's not so dense and it is a little soft, so it's like kind of in between. So if I want a really nice contour but not too deep, I'll go ahead and apply, you know, a darker contour powder here, and then I'll just go in with a brush like this and kind of use a lighter bronzer and kind of just blend them together. So yeah, I really like to use this brush for contour. Can you see it? It's really, really nice. And then next is a brush like this for blush. A brush for blush, a blush brush. This is what I use for my blush. You can see it's kind of angled, so it's really nice just to get right here on the cheekbone and then kind of bring it up. It's really, really beautiful. This, I don't even know what brush this is. Oh my God, I know it's from Sigma, that's for sure. Oh, I can barely see it. It's the Sigma, I want to say it's the F40 brush. It's just a blush brush. It's really beautiful. I know that they have new ones. You can see mine's kind of falling apart a little bit. I've had this for a really long time. But again, Sigma carries really nice brushes that last for a really, really long time. When I first discovered Sigma, this was one of the first brushes that I bought, and I still have it to this day, and it has held up really, really nicely. So I love this brush. So those are all of my eye and face brushes that I really, really, really love to use. Those are my go-to brushes. If you've seen my brush collection, you will see that I have a ton of brushes, but really, like, this is all I really use out of all the brushes I have, guys. Sometimes I'll gravitate towards those brushes a little, but when it comes down to it, I don't have a lot of time when I'm getting ready, so these are the brushes that I really, really go to all of the time. So that is why these are my favorite brushes. So I really wanted to mention those in this video because I do get a ton of questions on what kind of brushes are used for eyeshadows. Some people come up and tell me, like, I bought these eyeshadows, but I don't know what to apply them with. And so I figured I might as well go ahead and throw in some brushes that I really, really love to apply my eyeshadow and, you know, face products, so that you guys can get an idea of what to look for when you guys are buying eyeshadows, and now you can know what kind of brushes to use to apply them. So yeah, those are all of my favorites. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions on any of these products, just go ahead and leave them down below and I'll answer them for you. And I do really want to quickly mention I will be doing another video on my 2016 goals that I have set for myself. I know a lot of people like to do like resolutions, but I really did not want to do any resolutions this year because I feel like every time I set a resolution for myself, I always break it. So this year I set really, really good, solid goals for me, and I really wanted to throw them in a video. I know it has nothing to do with like beauty related anything at all, but I felt like if I threw this video up, it would give me kind of like a life journal, and I would be able to like look back on it to see if I had accomplished any of those goals in the year 2016. So I really, 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 really want to film that video, and that will be up next. But yeah, that is what I really wanted to quickly mention. Everything that I have right here in front of me, I will try and list down below. I know I'm really bad at doing that, but I will really try and list everything that I talked about in this video down below. So yeah, that is it for my 2015 beauty favorites. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Until next time, I'll see y'all soon. Bye!